Hello, my name's Paul Morando. I'm the Chief Curator here at the National Museum of the United States Army. And the museum's mission is to tell the Army's story through the eyes of American soldiers. From 1775 to present day, the stories and the artifacts that you find in this museum are very, very compelling. It not only reflects the history of the Army, but the history of the United States as well. And today we are standing in the Army Society Gallery, which focuses on the relationship between the American public and the Army. Or this is a very unique gallery, and it is a standalone gallery, separate from our Fighting for the Nation galleries, which gives insight on the wars and the battles and the campaigns soldiers have fought since the Revolutionary War up into Afghanistan. The military tactics, the weapons, the type of uniforms they wore, punctuated with individual soldier stories that not only talk about what the soldiers went through, but also more context about the battles or wars that they fought in. In this gallery, we focus on 5 themes or 5 sections that talk about technology, talks about the civilian support of the Army, talks about public work projects that the Army's been involved in, and even pop culture. And you may be asking yourself, what is a Wright Flyer doing inside an Army museum? And I'll tell you, the Army saw a specific need when the Wright brothers started experimenting with flight and producing these Wright Flyers. The Army had an immediate need. They saw the military use that they can get by producing these flyers. So the Army put out a challenge to the Wright brothers to build a flyer that could meet certain specs, travel 40 miles an hour, go so far distance. And the Wright brothers actually answered that call and produced Wright Flyer, which is depicted here. So this is a reproduction. It is the only known reproduction because this model, or this particular one, crashed during test trials. So Orville Wright, you see on the right, and Lieutenant Selfridge were the pilots on this particular flyer. And unfortunately, Lieutenant Selfridge died as a result of the crash. Orville was injured, but he was able to walk away from the crash. But what they proved during those trials was that they could meet those specs that the Army asked for, and were able to perfect flight, and was really instrumental in leading the Army into the world of aviation. And then up above the Wright Flyer, you can see a helicopter. That is the Sikorsky helicopter, considered the Army's first helicopter. So it was kind of developed at the end of World War II and saw some action in the China-Burma Indian theater at the end of World War II. So right away, the Army knew the importance of helicopters in transporting soldiers, supplies, evacuating the wounded off the battlefield. So that is a great example of how technology developed in the civilian world was used on the military side.